I just got my notary commission and I'm a little bit nervous about my first signing. Hi, my name's Marissa. Now that I'm an official notary, I'm getting ready for my first notarization, and to be honest, I'm scared. The training I took taught me everything I needed to know to become a notary, but now that it's time to perform notarizations, I feel like I need a little extra information on that. So I enlisted the help of my notary friends, Sean and Susi, and asked if they could break down some different notarizations for me. Oh, look, it's a message from Sean. Let's see what it says.
Hey Marissa, congrats on getting your commission. Getting started can feel a little scary, but don't worry, I've got your back. Below is a short video of Susi and I walking you through two of the most common notarizations, Jurats and Acknowledgments. Let me know if you need anything else. Good luck. Let's walk through an acknowledgement notarization. Now that I'm face to face with my signer, I'm going to scan her document for completeness. I see that there's no notarial wording attached to this document, so I'm going to ask my signer, what notarial act did she come in for today? I can't tell her what she needs. That would be giving legal advice, and notaries can't do that. She tells me she needs an acknowledgement, so I'm going to grab a certificate of acknowledgement from the state of California so that I can use that later. Next, I ask for her identification. At first, she gives me a driver's license that's expired and issued more than 5 years ago. Then she gives me a U.S. passport that is current, which is satisfactory evidence that I can use to identify her for this notarization. I'm going to ask my signer to sign her document because she hasn't already. Since this is an acknowledgement, she could also verbally affirm her signature if she's already signed. Time for the journal entry. In my journal, I'm required to get the date and time, the type of act, type of document, how I identified, how much I charged, and the signature of the signer as well as their thumbprint if necessary. Once I've filled out my entire journal, I can move on to the notarial certificate. For a certificate of acknowledgement, I will fill in the county where I am notarizing, that's my venue, the date, my name and title, which is Notary Public, and the name of my signer. I fill in all of this before signing and affixing my notarial seal. Once you affix your notarial seal, that is the end of that notarization. To be extra secure, I'm going to attach the certificate with a trusty staple, hand it off to my signer, and be on my way. Let's walk through a Jurat notarization. Now that I'm face to face with my signer, I'm going to scan for completeness, but this document isn't filled in. So I'm going to hand it back to my signer so that she can fill out her document. Also, remember, notaries can't give legal advice, so I cannot help her fill out her document. She has to do that all on her own. Now that it's complete, I'm going to ask her for her identification. She hands me a U.S. passport that is current, and we know that that is satisfactory evidence, and I can use that for a jurat. I ask my signer to swear that the contents of this document is true and sign her document. Remember, for a jurat, you must watch them sign. If they've already signed, make them sign again. The last thing I'm scanning for is certificate wording. The certificate on this document is not California approved, so I'm going to bring out a certificate of jurat from the state of California that we can use later, because as a California notary, I am required to use California wording for every jurat I perform. Time for the journal entry. Once again, I need all the information that's required: date and time, type of act, type of document, how I identified, how much I charged, signature, and thumbprint if necessary. Certificate time. Since I'm not using the certificate wording on the document, I'm going to cross it out and write "See attached." That way, it will indicate on the document that I am attaching a certificate. A jurat requires the county I'm notarizing, the date, and the signer's name to be written in before I sign and affix my notary seal. Once again, I am attaching with a staple to keep that nice and secure, and congrats, you've done a jurat.
They covered a lot in my training to become a notary, but Sean's walkthrough was so helpful, and I feel like I'm ready to notarize, which means I gotta start putting myself out there. Should I start with business cards, a social post? Hey, maybe I'll just start telling my friends I'm a notary. Stay tuned because in the next video, I'll walk through how I market myself. But for now, subscribe and click the notification bell down below to get notified when I upload next. See you soon.